Hello friends, this video on Light Part 10 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So now let us talk about image formation by spherical mirrors. Now in plane mirrors we already saw that basically the point where the reflected rays meet, that is where image will be formed. So the concept remains the same even with spherical mirrors. So here also the rays originating from a point actually meet at another point after reflection. So this point from where the rays are originating, that is nothing but the object, and this point where the rays either meet or appear to meet after reflection is nothing but the image. So as I said, when the rays actually meet, the image formed is real, and if the rays do not meet actually but only appear to meet, that then the image that is formed would be a virtual image. Now this is something which is little different from plane mirrors, because in plane mirrors you saw that always virtual image is formed and it is always formed on the other side of the mirror. But in case of concave and convex, that is not the case. For convex mirror also virtual images are formed. So that is one similarity of convex and plane mirror, that in both of these virtual images are formed, but in convex the image size is smaller than the object size. So you see, this is the object, but here the image size is smaller. But when you talk about concave mirrors, in concave mirrors also virtual images are formed, but they are enlarged in size. They are quite big in size. And in some cases, they form images which are real images. So that's why you see, this is the object, this is the image. You see, the image is formed on the same side as that of the object. So you really do not see these images on the other side of the mirror. In order to see this image, you need to be here. Only then you will be able to see this image. So the image is formed on the same side of the object. The image is also inverted and enlarged. So with concave mirrors, you can get both real as well as virtual images. With convex mirrors, you always get virtual images but smaller in size. And with plane mirrors, you always get virtual images which are same in size as that of the object. So these are the variety of images that are formed by different types of mirrors. So let us quickly have a comparison between the concave and the convex mirrors. Now, the concave and the convex mirror, they have some uniqueness in themselves. So, the concave mirror is often known as the converging mirror. You know why? Because if a beam of parallel rays of light fall on the mirror, as you can see here, parallel rays of light. So, when a beam of light falls on the mirror, after reflection, all of them appear to meet at one point. So that is, concave mirror always tries to bring together the reflected rays. So they always try to converge the reflected rays. So that is why it is called converging mirror. But when you look at a convex mirror, so you see here, this is a convex mirror. In this case, the rays of light fall on the mirror, and after reflection, they tend to diverge away. They tend to move away from each other. So that is why convex mirror is known as a diverging mirror. Now this is something very important. Now because of this basic property of concave and convex mirror, different types of images are formed in both of them, and that is why they are used for different purposes. So this is one basic thing which you should know about concave and convex mirror. Now if you ask me, why is this difference? Why do the reflected rays in both the mirrors behave differently? So that is simply because of the shape of the mirror. So in this case, you see, the mirror is curved inside. So the rays of light are getting reflected in this fashion. But in this case, the mirror is curved in this fashion. So the rays of light are getting reflected in a different way. So it's all because of the shape of the smooth surface of the mirror. And that is why the reflected rays are oriented in different directions. And that's why in one case, they tend to converge, and in the other case, they tend to diverge. So let us now quickly look at some of the terminologies associated with a spherical mirror. So the first thing that we will talk about is the pole. It is the center of the reflecting surface. Now when we are talking about this spherical mirror, the center of the reflecting surface is this, and this is called pole, and it is normally denoted by a capital P. Center of curvature. The center of curvature. Curvature is nothing but this curve. So the center of curvature is the center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part. Now while defining spherical mirror, I told you that all spherical mirrors are nothing but they are part of some sphere. So let's say this mirror is also part of this sphere. So the center of this sphere, so let's say the center of the sphere was this. So here I have not drawn it appropriately. So when you actually draw the sphere, you'll see that it is actually a very big sphere. And the center of that sphere is this. So this is known as center of curvature and it is normally denoted by a capital C. Then we have one of the most important things, that is principal focus, or which is often called as focus and is denoted by F. So focus is that point which is located midway between the center of curvature and the pole. So it is a point on the principal axis. What is principal axis? This central line which is passing through the center of curvature and the pole. This central line is known as the principal axis. And that point on the principal axis where the rays of light incident on the mirror parallel to the principal axis converge or appear to converge. So basically, mathematically, this principal focus is located midway between the center of curvature and the pole, just in between the two. And this is also the point where the rays of light meet. Like all these rays of light were falling parallel to the principal axis, to the mirror, right? And after reflection, they all meet at this point. So that is the speciality of principal focus, that in both concave and convex mirror, the rays of light, in case of concave mirror, the rays of light actually meet at principal focus, and in case of convex mirror, the rays of light diverge, but they appear to meet at the principal focus. So this principal focus is very important for any spherical mirror. So if you try to locate the principal focus for both concave and convex mirror, you will see that this is the case of concave mirror. So here you see they actually meet. So this is the principal focus, right? Now in case of convex mirror, this is the point where they appear to meet. So this is going to be the principal focus. So here in case of concave mirror, the principal focus lie on the same side as that of the object. But in case of convex mirror, the principal focus lies on the other side of the mirror. So that's the difference between the principal focus of concave and convex mirrors. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.